Okay, so we are ready to move straight into the run. So, Fiendly, playing Twisted Metal, please, let's get going.
Hello, Fastest Furs. I am Fiendly, and I welcome you to Twisted Metal, the original from 1995. Practically a launch title for the system. And just for a little bit of context, this here is Calypso. I'll tell you more about what and who Calypso is. And it is Christmas Eve 2005. The legendary Twisted Metal competition will begin in mere moments. So this is a mildly futuristic, dystopian nightmare world where vehicles have to destroy one another. We are choosing Warthog. We are also setting the difficulty on easy. And just to make sure everyone knows, there are a lot of frequent explosions that will cover most of the screen, functionally identical to flashing lights. So be aware, take necessary precautions, please, and thank you. Now, we will begin as soon as I hit begin battle here in 3, 2, 1, start. This is our largest moment of RNG, and we got lucky. We got Outlaw. So for the first level, it is a one-on-one duel against a randomly selected opponent from the pool of 11, besides ourselves. And some of the options are huge time losses right off the bat. Outlaw is potentially one of the best, although I bungled that slightly. But ideally, that's the sort of thing that's going to happen about 30 times in this game. Just a death by collisions, with very little ammo being used. Mr. Grimm is not performing his best right now. Our spawn point is fixed at every level in this run. So we always know where we will start, and we always know where the enemies will start, and we will always have the same enemies to fight. However, each enemy will be randomly assigned one of the starting points. So we actually wanted Mr. Grimm to be one of our first targets there. We got somewhat lucky in that sense. Roadkill is juggling me. So I am going to take something I don't often do on the first level, first real level, and heal up. You know, Roadkill can just have this part of the street. Pit Viper. Every enemy has their own series of weapons that they will choose to use at any given time. Pit Viper likes to lay road spikes and bounce pads, which really do not benefit her very much, but are incredibly obnoxious for the player. Road spikes will slow us to a crawl, which in a speed run is exactly what we don't want. So for a little bit of safety, I'm going to utilize a secret mechanic right now. Right over here is a full heal. You park in front of that section of the warehouse. You are immediately healed back to full. In some levels, we will absolutely want to use that. This level, it's a time cost that we normally don't have to spend, but for safety, it's good to have. Every level besides the arena has a secret full heal. Otherwise, we are dependent on the platforms that we can climb on top of. Those will heal us about 50%. This means that enemies cannot heal. Every bit of damage we do is permanent. And that is exactly what we want to do. I did get slimed along the way and lose all traction. We want to issue a parking violation on that vehicle parked in the middle of the freeway. That will be useful in the near future because that is another one of our secret full heals. The spot that car is parked in. Crimson Fury is the lowest armor vehicle and also the fastest vehicle, so We do not want it to get away. Acceptable. Now I'm going to use that full heal. Because there are enemies on the field as well called refs. Referees of the Twisted Metal competition who will shoot us with missiles nonstop. These early levels, they are the only pedestrians, but we'll get more. This is the brainchild of David Jaffe, who also went on to create God of War. Famous for having a bit of a twisted mind.
Do I have time to make an announcement?
Oh, I would love it if you did.
Thanks to everyone's generous donations, we have met the incentive for Twisted Metal Watch the Original FMV ending.
That is extremely exciting. You will not regret that you have done this to yourselves.
We had a number of donations come in very quickly, including a $110 anonymous donation with no comment. So whoever that was, thank you so much for helping us meet that incentive.
That's amazing, yeah. If you have donations, please go for it. Please read some.
Okay, let's see. We have a $50 donation. Sorry, let me say that again. A $50 donation from Cedrin Dragon saying, "Keep up the amazing work, FF." So that $50 also contributed to the incentive. So thank you so much, Cedrin.
Yeah, that's
we
awesome.
Also had a $10 donation from Static saying, $10 redos for the FMV ending, because it's one of the most hilariously bad things I've ever seen. And that's saying something. Good luck to you, Fiendly, and here's hoping RN Jesus smiles on you this day.
Static's a good friend of mine. Thank you so much, man. Keep them coming. This is just typical hunt and kill stuff, so you got a few minutes.
And just checking with things at the moment. There has been something has gone wrong with the file name bid wall for Peggle, so we're just investigating that. That should be updated correctly very shortly. I'm just checking as well.
Well, whatever it was, your donation rates have been extremely good luck. We are doing phenomenally well so far in this level. And I spoke too soon. Pitfire Pursuer to Ronan.
Okay, I have a couple of updates on some of the incentives. Now that we have met the Twisted Metal incentive, we have now opened a brand new incentive for Peggle Deluxe, which will add the WoW Edition levels to the end of the run. The target for this is $750. That is now open, in addition to the file name bid war. We now have an update on that. PB Cheetah still leading with $101. New entry, Gex, for $12, and treading in third place with $10 is Furt.
And for the record, I need to see that Peggle WoW speedrun, because I love Peggle speedruns, and that's just more of it, so make it happen, please. You made this game's incentive happen very expediently and impressively. Thank you so much, chat.
I've only just announced it, and already we have a donation for that incentive in already. We have a $25 donation from Sino saying, "Yippee! I love Peggle and Warcraft." Thank you so much.
Seconded. I'll donate toward it myself once I'm out of here. and not being juggled by Sweet Tooth. This is our new level, Cyberbia, and it has the most enemies of any level in this game by a wide margin, 8 opponents at the same time. The level is gigantic, and typically in a casual run, you'll spend like 15 minutes here if you're able to complete it at all. We will hopefully spend significantly less time here. But I'm going to use our full heal real quick. At the very beginning of the level, I crashed directly into a convenience store by the gas station. When you do that, you automatically receive a handful of fire missiles. Or it's actually a pickup that cycles throughout the course of the level over time. If you get it immediately, it is power missiles, which are the best missiles to acquire. This game, you probably noticed the various pink spheres all over the ground. And those pink bubbles all contain items. Many of those items are, say, like rear fire missiles, oil slicks, real Mario Kart style drops that are terrible, and we don't want them. And they were removed from all future Twisted Metal games. So, because they're all in pink bubbles, they all sort of look exactly the same from a distance. This is very bad for us. I basically have to memorize the exact location of every useful pickup in the entire game, which is less than half of the available pickups in this game. So far, we have a large mass of enemies in here. This is a dangerous but fortuitous scenario, where we can take a risk, get in the middle of them, and they will crash into each other and shoot each other in their attempt to get to me, because everyone at all times targets me. The AI only cares about us. But I just tricked Pit Viper into shooting Crimson Fury multiple times with her special, dramatically speeding up the process of defeating her. So, now we're into the old downtime. When you have a gigantic level and a slow car, you are often going to experience downtime. We sort of got lucky on the freeway. Oh yeah, go for it. Absolutely.
I have a $12 donation from Kamari saying, "It's tail time. Hi Reddick." And that was to add the name Gex into the file name Bidwar.
A lot of Gex fans out there, apparently. PS1 enthusiasts, still going strong. And that is good for me, because obviously Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal, one of the icons of the PS1 era. And we're going to see his cutscene very soon. So this was originally, Twisted Metal, in its entirety, was supposed to be an FMV game from beginning to end. They filmed about 5 FMV cutscenes that were supposed to be sprinkled throughout the game, as well as endings for every single character. This game was relatedly developed in Utah. The endings featured a lot of women in bikinis, and the Utah developers, very religious, did not care for the women in bikinis and demanded that they be cut from the game, leaving the finished game with nothing but text endings and no mid-level cutscenes. But 13 years after this game was released, they did put out as bonus content for a different game, they put out the FMV cutscenes that they had filmed on VHS. They look horrible. They're badly directed and acted. They are a nightmare. I can't wait to show them off to you. We only get to see the one, of course, but it's not for the character we're playing as, because the character we're playing as is Warthog, chosen exclusively because it is huge, it deals a lot of damage when it collides with enemies. And that means we never have to pick up any of the ammo that is scattered around the field, which I previously noted, close to useless. The more ammo we can avoid, the better. we got unlucky because Spectre decided to go out on the freeway surrounding the level and get lost for a long time. We'd prefer not to have to touch that freeway, but didn't end up being that bad. Haven't lost a life yet, which is very good. Maximum carrying capacity, so we're going to probably save time in this level unless I accidentally drive over the edge. This level introduces falling hazards, which are instant death. We want to use that to our advantage. However, I almost drove off myself. And... okay, good. Our vehicle is just barely fast enough to make it over the edge if we are going full speed. That is not the case with Hammerhead, who is coming my way and might plummet to his death. Let's see. It's approaching, he's dropping, and he's gone. Goodbye, Hammerhead.
We hardly
Free instant
knew you.
kill. Yep. That is the highest health opponent in the game. And it is gone. That's exactly what we hope for on this level. Close one. So, as I was saying, this game was the brainchild of David Jaffe, who also created God of War. And he didn't want to be a video game developer, he wanted to be a filmmaker. So the FMV cutscene we are going to see was his true passion. Thankfully, he just happened to be an extremely good video game developer. Okay, now comes the boss. We had to face Minion, and because all the FMV cutscenes were cut, we don't know anything about Minion. Originally, he was supposed to be a psychic tank that read the brain waves of the driver, thereby performing feats of maneuverability that tanks otherwise would not be capable of. I'm going to go for this level's full heal and hopefully not be destroyed along the way. Looks good. Hidden underneath this satellite dish. We're in good shape. The game will end upon the death of Minion. If Minion falls off the level, he does not die, he simply respawns elsewhere with a reduction to his health. Right there I got frozen. I'm surprised we haven't gotten frozen sooner. But when you're frozen, you got to stand still for a couple of seconds, or if you take damage, you become unfrozen. Or if you spend 5 turbo points, you unfreeze yourself. However, turbo is extremely hard to come by. So rarely do we have the opportunity to buy our freedom.
Do we have time for some donations?
I think we can squeeze in 1 or 2 short ones. Go for it.
Okay. We have $50 from Nilsson for the WoW incentive for Peggle. The comment says, Peggle and WoW? Yes, please. And we have a $5 donation from Aura Dragoness saying, $5 footlong? Nah, $5 furt train. Choo-choo! I feel a choo-choo coming on. Let's see if we can get a $5 furt train going on.
Yeah, make it happen, chat. And this run should be just about over. Minion has ridiculously high health, and it's the one enemy in the game that we don't typically want to collide with. Bit unlucky there, but we have plenty of extra lives. We're almost done. For being the largest target, he is dodging me quite deftly, but he fires every special in the game, and time is now. End of the
GG.
run. Yeah. And here's our very, very anticlimactic ending. not the one we want to see. In this ending, Warthog successfully prevents a conspiracy from being revealed to the public, so even the viewer does not get to find out what Warthog was racing for. You have to play as a completely different vehicle to discover that aliens exist in the Twisted Metal universe. But that is not our problem right now. Right now, we would like to see Sweet Tooth's ending as the world was originally meant to see it. So like I said, this is Twisted Metal Head On, ported to the PS2 in 2005, loaded with bonus material, and among that material is the lost endings that were cut from this game, out of prudishness. So we've got all 12 of them here. We are going to watch Sweet Tooth. I hope you are prepared for very, very low quality images. I would recommend watching the very far left side of the screen right as this cutscene begins. Right about now.
Let the winner in. Congratulations! You have won my contest. Welcome to my home.
As you know, Mr. K, you are now able to claim any prize you request.
You just don't know. You don't know what it was like for me. And I, and you, and them. You don't know!
Look, I'm a bit confused, Mr. K. You do understand, by winning High Octane, you are entitled to any request of any value. And yet, you asked me for this?
Oh man! Give me that! Give me!
A paper bag? You can't be serious.
Oh man! Down! Down! You get down the street! You said it would be easy! Do you know what they did? Do you? Now it's my turn! It's my world! It's my word! It's my turn! It's my day! Boo! Cuckoo!
Young lady, I owe you a debt of gratitude. You are welcome to stay in my realm for as long as you desire.
You guys are both sick. I'm getting out of here, and I'm taking your truck.
And there you have it. Exactly what a clown would wish for if they spent the entire budget on his ice cream truck. A paper bag. So that was a bit of a loose speed run, I'll admit. I was hoping for a few minutes faster, but we got some bad luck. And it was all worth it to get to that cutscene, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Absolute cinema.
Yep. David Jaffe's true passion. Unfortunately, he had to stick to video games. So, I've been Fiendly. Thank you so much for joining me. You'll find most of my stuff over at youtube.com/Fiendly. Fiendly. That is hundreds of videos of just Twisted Metal alone, and hundreds more videos of other games. So, hope you'll join me over there. I also stream on twitch.tv/Saint Fiendly. That's STFIENDLY. Awesome. Thanks so much for having me, Fastest Furs. Trans rights forever.
Thank you, Fiendly, for that run of Twisted Metal and for showing us a rather disturbing video. But you wanted it. You donated for it. We got it in the marathon. Thank you so much for all of those donations that came in. We are now going to go to a quick interview between the runner of the run after this one, Peggle Deluxe. It's going to be an interview between Mannequin Z and Rad Ringtail, and that'll be coming up shortly. I've been told that we will be going to that interview shortly, but in the meantime, I will be able to read out more donations. We have another $5, this time from Ian Keith, saying, "Furt." It seems as though we're continuing on this $5 Furt train, so for the file name bid war for Peggle, if you're thinking, you know what, I'm going to give Furt a chance, $5 with Furt, we're going to make it a thing. It's going to happen. Just a quick reminder of those upcoming incentives, both of them for Peggle. The first one is the file name bid war. Currently, we have at the top of the leaderboard PB Cheetah with $101. Below that is Furt for $20. And below that is Gex for $12. Yes, excellent choices, all of them. If you prefer one of those names, maybe more than the others, you can always donate and try and change what the outcome is for that. We also have, more importantly, the Add WoW edition to Peggle Deluxe. So right on the end of the Peggle run, we will add all the WoW flavoured levels. The target for that is $750, and we're 10% of the way there already. We have $75. You have until the end of the Peggle run before the cutoff, so if you want to see those extra WoW flavoured levels enter into the marathon, you know what to do. Let's get that incentive met. We're now ready for that interview between the runner of the Peggle run, Mannequin. So we'll take you over to that interview right now.
Hello, furries. Welcome to the Fastest Furs Fall Fest. My name's Rad. I'll be one of 3 interviewers you'll see interviewing some of our runners this extended weekend. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing you to Mannequin. Welcome, Mannequin.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Mannequin will be running Peggle Deluxe later today, the PC version, and maybe a little bit more, maybe an expansion if we get those donations in. And I did take a look at your speedrun.com profile, and I kind of do this for everyone. I try to figure out what have you been into? Is Peggle the latest thing, or it's been a lifelong obsession? And it looks like you're kind of new to speedrunning, and it's all Peggle. So tell me, how did you get into speedrunning and into Peggle, and like which one was actually first?
I've been interested in speedrunning for a little while. I tried a few different games. I tried like Battle for Bikini Bottom and a few other ones, but nothing could really stick until like Peggle started to. I've been playing Peggle ever since I was little. I played like the Flash version of it that was on the PopCap website for a little while, and actually didn't really think about running it until I started playing very casually, even though it's like a kind of joke in the community. I would play the mobile game Peggle Blast a lot.
Nice.
And I looked and I saw that the Peggle speedrunning community is pretty active, like at the time it was very active lately, and I hadn't known at the time that there was a Twitch streamer by the name of Doug who started to speedrun Peggle on his channel, and that like started to get the community to grow more and more. So it just got really active with a bunch of different resources to start. So that was how I essentially started picking up learning how to play the game and learning all the different strategies to beat the game as quickly as possible.
Nice. Yeah. In doing some of this research, I noticed the Peggle community, just like the number of runs submitted, is enormous. So that community looks
Yeah.
wild. Do you enjoy the community?
Absolutely. They're very friendly and like super creative. Like they're always doing new stuff. There's always new events going on. And just recently, they actually, a bunch of people in the community released a brand new, I would call it like a spiritual sequel to the game, where it's like a full length game featuring whole new levels and whole new like different mechanics to the game, which I haven't played myself, but I will get to it very soon, definitely.
That's awesome. Um, I cannot move forward without asking you, what is your favorite Peggle master?
I would say in terms of running the game, my favorite master would be Cinderbottom because he has the fireball ability that allows you to cut through all of the pegs in one shot, and it actually covers up the bucket that moves across the level to get you a free ball. So you can actually get it to bounce off of the bucket and have it hit even more pegs. And there's a very specific trick that allows you to essentially have the ball bounce up in such a way where it gets a really nice amount of pegs all at once.
Nice. Yeah. I think I can't remember the name of the owl, the one you get last that does like the predictive shot.
Yeah, he also can be a really useful power. I think he was probably my favorite when I played him when I was a kid, either him or Splork, who does the space blast power that gets a huge amount of pegs
Yes,
around the
yes.
green peg you hit.
I almost made a Who joke there, but I didn't. So I just want you to give me some credit for that. Now, of course, we're here raising money for Trans Lifeline. And so thank you for being a part of that. You have an incentive to unlock a special kind of bonus DLC game. Can you tell me about that a little bit?
This little extra is like a very interesting piece of Peggle history. There's actually a decent amount of overlap between Peggle and World of Warcraft. The specific thing I'm doing is a bonus set of levels that they made, which are 10 World of Warcraft themed levels. You'll be using the two characters Bjorn and Splork throughout the levels to complete these very interesting, honestly kind of surreal levels, in contrast to the more like bubbly, positive kind of aesthetic of Deluxe versus the kind of darker, more surreal tone of World of Warcraft. And it's especially weird because I've never played World of Warcraft. I don't know anything about it, but seeing
Me
the
neither.
backgrounds without context is very fun. Yeah.
Makes two of us.
Whether you're a fan of WoW or not, it'll be very fun to see these very strange levels.
It makes me want to see it more. So, chat, furries, you know what to do. Get those donations in if you want to see the WoW incentive met. Speaking of Trans Lifeline, obviously we are here as a furry speedrunning group raising money for Trans Lifeline. Do you have any specific connection to any one of those things, or maybe all three?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say I have connections to all three. Like, I've known the furry community for a while, and they've been always like super positive and super wonderful, and they've done such amazing things. And this cause is a very good one as well. Like, especially now, it is very important to support different sources like that. And also, like, I'm probably of all of them, I'm the newest to the speedrunning community, but the Peggle community in particular, especially, has been like super welcoming and amazing, and they've done such cool things as well.
Well, that's awesome to hear. And thank you so much for lending your talents to help us raise money for Trans Lifeline. I do have to ask a question about the elephant in the room. I did not see Peggle 2 on your profile. What's the deal? There's so few people that run Peggle 2. Why not that one?
It's just different enough to the original Peggle where I feel like people are more trepidatious about it, but I would like to go around to it at some point because it does seem like a very interesting take on the style of Peggle. I definitely tried a bunch of different other strange versions of Peggle as well. Like, I have Peggle Dual Shot recently I got, which is Peggle on the Nintendo DS, which is a very interesting format. So Peggle 2, even though I haven't played it myself, from what I've seen, it looks like a very interesting take on that format of games. So I would love to try that, and I would love to see other people try it too.
Well, speaking of trying things, do you have plans in the near future for speedrunning in general, more Peggle or something else?
I'm not sure at the moment. There's a few miscellaneous games I would like to try doing. I would like to try, like, I'm one of those people that really likes weird niche, like indie horror kind of stuff. So I may try. I've tried running this one like old popular freeware game from back in the day called Ebe, and that's a fun like shorter casual run to do, and it kind of deviates from the style of Peggle quite a lot. So that might be one that I'll tune into a little bit more as well.
Awesome. Well, I wish you luck on Peggle and Ebe in the future. And yeah, thanks for taking time to talk to me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Welcome back, everyone. You are watching Fastest Furs Fall Fest 2024 in support of Trans Lifeline. The mission of Trans Lifeline is to connect trans people to the community support and resources that they need to survive and thrive. They envision a world where trans people have the connection, economic security, and care that everyone needs and deserves, free of police, emergency responders, and prisons that disproportionately inflict violence and mistreatment on trans individuals. Since 2014, Trans Lifeline operators have answered over 100,000 calls from their peers, and we fully support the mission of Trans Lifeline to help and empower trans people through the power of community and shared lived experience. To learn more, please visit www.translifeline.org. Just to let you know where we're up to with our incentives for that Peggle Deluxe run, which is coming up after this next run. We are 10% of the way towards adding those aforementioned World of Warcraft levels into the run. You have until the end of that Peggle run to get to $750. We have raised $75 for that so far. When you donate, make sure you tag your donation to add your vote towards this incentive to push it forward and get it into the marathon. We're also having a file name bid war for that Peggle run. Currently, we have 3 names up for the block. We have PB Cheetah on $101. Behind that, in second place, we have Furt for $20. And behind that, we have Gex on $12. If you want to tip the balance for one name or the other, you can also add your donation towards that, if you so wish. I'm seeing the Furts in the chat. I approve. And I agree with Mr. Shasta. Peggle is just fabulous. You just want more Peggle. If you see the Peggle, you'll want more. So, believe me, getting to that incentive will definitely change your lives. Fastest Furs Fall Fest 2024 is once again being sponsored by Furry Logic Escape Rooms. Furry Logic brings escape room experiences to conventions all over the United States, including furrycons and speedrunning events. Follow them on Blue Sky at furrylogic.bsky.social or use the command !FurryLogic in chat for a link and keep an eye out for them at your next event. Did you know they are also supporting the prize for today's prize pool? Thanks to the incredible generosity of the Fastest Furs community, we are thrilled to offer different assortments of prizes, as well as a unique grand prize each day throughout the event. On day 1, today, cumulative donations of at least $50 during the stream will automatically qualify you to win our Day 1 grand prize, donated by Furry Logic Escape Rooms, an Analog Pocket. The Analog Pocket is a perfect way to play all of your classic Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games in the modern age. Additional prizes are available as well if you make a single donation of at least $25. For the full list of prizes available each day, use the command !prizes in chat. We've just received a donation from our previous runner, Fiendly, $25 to add to the WoW incentive. I require the maximum amount of Peggle! I couldn't have put it better. Thank you so much, Fiendly, and thank you again for your excellent run. Just to keep you up to date with where that incentive now stands, we have reached $100 out of a total of $750. You have until the end of the Peggle run, which is the run after this next one, in order to meet that incentive and add the WoW levels to the end of the Peggle Deluxe run. Chat, I want to do an experiment with you. A lot of you seem to be having the emotes because you've been gifted a sub or you've resubscribed to the channel. So in the chat, if you want to see more Peggle levels. Audio cut off at just the perfect point. We'll try again. Let's try an experiment. I want you to type FERT in the chat. A lot of you seem to be subscribed to the channel, so if you want to see more Peggle in your life, and who doesn't, let's see some FERT in the chat. Let's get a FERT train going. See, I believe in you, chat. You've got this. We're going to smash this incentive. It's going to be great. And we'll warn you that the next run has an estimate of about 20 minutes. The Peggle run itself is going to be a long run, so you've got all the time during that run. But you still have to meet the incentive before that run ends. So I'm trusting you, chat. Let's get this incentive met. Let's get it out the way early. And then we can relax. We can enjoy more Peggle. And then we can put our donations towards another very good incentive.